In this video, we'll run through some Facebook essentials for 2020. In this video, I'll walk you through how you can create offers from your Facebook page. Here we go. So, there's a couple of ways to do this. From the post options, you've got on your page, create offer. So click on offer. Then you can fill out these details, add a photo, offer either a discount percent, amount of percentage, 20%, 50%, etc. And then you've got an expiry date you can set as well. So default is in a month's time, but you can make that nearer to now or whenever it applies. Is it an online offer? Is it an in-store offer? You choose between those two options. What can people do? Can they click shop now, get directions, they can call the number, etc. So once you've finished, you would click publish, or you could schedule it as well so it doesn't have to go out immediately. I'll just close that down. Once you've created an offer, it'll appear there on your page on the tab offers. And look, you can go back to previous offers and say run offer again. So you just change the dates. Need the description. Okay, so depends whether you offer services or products, of course, but in this case I've got a 20% discount from the product, and I'll say publish. I'll say online, and I'll say social media. And I'll say online or install. And publish. So that offer is now live. And there you can see it in the results. So an ordinary user can browse their own offers and just click on there, and they can see anything that's local to you, recommended for you nearby. There's a huge range of choices that companies can go for. So I think particularly if you're a retail sector, a shop, etc., it's a very good thing to do. Did you know that you can review your recent ad activity and save particular adverts you want to come back to later? And I'll show you how in this video. Here we go. So from your profile, click on Explore, See More, and go down until you can see their recent ad activity. So what you can see is the most recent adverts you've given a response to. You can even leave feedback on the ad. So for example, this one on noon, you might say neutral. What could they do to improve? You could give them some tips there. So product quality perhaps, and then you've got specific things you could criticize, so not as advertised. And then you can fill out some text about what happened. So it could be a good way to feedback, and also anything particularly interests you, you want to save it, you can just simply click save, and then they'll all be there for you to review later. So that's how it's done on classic Facebook. I'll just show you on new Facebook how that would look. There on the left hand side I can see recent ad activity, and essentially it's not available yet in the new Facebook as it would appear. So that's something to be aware of. If you're using classic Facebook, you can review those recent ads. In this video, I'll show you the 7 possible ways when you like a post, you can express emojis around that post. Here we go. So here I am in the newsfeed, scrolling through, and you can see a number of different posts. Here's one from a local village forum. So it doesn't matter whether it's into a group or on a page or from a personal profile. You simply hover over the like button and then you have a choice of like, normal post, love if you really like it, care as you're showing compassion towards someone, haha, obviously it's funny, wow, a sad emoji, or angry. So different ways to express how you're feeling about a post. If I go here to new Facebook, let's just take that one for example again, hover over it again, and there they are, the same 7 basic emojis, but they certainly add more expressions. You can see when someone has previously liked, you can be guided by what they've done there. There's just 2 ordinary likes. If I scroll down, here's an example of multiple likes, including wow, all those people, love, and like. So it really gives you an indication of how a post goes down well. You can't just say you like it, you don't like it. Now you have a lot more choices. I'm sure you will have seen memories on Facebook a year ago, a post from a year ago that a friend shares. I'll show you how you can take control of what memories you share in this video. Here we go. So here I am in my Facebook feed, and here on the left hand side under Explore, you can see the 4th option down, Memories. Click on there. As it says, want to get notifications when you have memories to look back on? You can simply say Get Notifications. Then you click here on the box Notifications and decide what you're going to see. Are you going to see highlights? Are you going to look at the detail of that? Those are the memories from top friends. Or you could even set it to none. So you'll no longer see anyone sharing what memories they posted out there onto Facebook. So in your newsfeed, this is under Preferences. You can specify things relating to particular dates. So for example, you might have a particular date that means something to you that you don't want to share or don't want to be reminded of. So you can edit out the dates. You can simply say select dates and then create, arrange. So any posts from those times won't show up in the on this day feature. Also people, you can make sure you don't see content from them, maybe somebody, an ex-partner or something like that, and you don't want to share memories with those people. You can do that as well. Let's look at the new version of Facebook. Go to the 2020 version. Switch to new Facebook. And again, we'll select memories. So a slightly different layout, but the same message. Got notifications set to all memories, highlights or none. You can hide people and hide dates. So that's how you set memories on Facebook. For me, it can be a useful feature, but to be able to determine how much you share with the wider Facebook and how much you see of other people's memories is quite a useful feature. So in this video, I'll walk you through how you can create posts like this that really stand out in your newsfeed using a variety of background colours and larger fonts. Here we go. So when you go to the Create Post area, click on it, you see the palette there, the colourful icon. Just click on that, and then you've got a whole selection of backgrounds to choose from. So let's choose this one, for example, and then you can simply fill out the text. Probably about 50 characters maximum. you can see quickly when you're that this is going to continue, then it suddenly runs out and you can no longer have a post in this format. But then again, yeah, so I'll just count that. So officially it's 130 characters, so any less than that you can still use it, and you can obviously switch between different palettes and you can choose particular styles like these ones. More and more of these to choose from. Let's go for the rainbow one. Okay, so they're both visible on mobile phones as well as on your standard desktop. And if I go now to the 2020 version of Facebook, you can see what the options look like there. Now basically any other form of post, if you add an attachment like a picture or whatever, you can't then use that type of post. So, but I think it's the same sort of palettes available. Just click on there for more options. And again, 140 characters is your limit. So yeah, don't forget you can add emojis to posts as well. Just click on the emoji button at the end and add those in. So that's how you create colourful posts using different font sizes and backgrounds. In this video I'll show you how you can add a Facebook cover video like this one that plays automatically when someone visits your Facebook page, giving you a chance to showcase what you do. Here we go. So here I am on my Facebook page, and you click in the corner there, you can see change cover. And you can see it alternates between a photograph camera icon and a video camera. So just say change cover. And instead of saying choose from photos for a standard cover photo, you can say choose from videos. Alternatively, you can say upload photo and video and just simply select a file that suits. So I choose under videos. You can have examples from previous videos you've done. If you want promotional style videos, there are a number of sites like pexels.com where you can pick up videos for free or at least a very reasonable price, and you can have those running on your page. You don't want anything more than, say, 30 seconds content, just to give people a great impression of what you're all about and the benefits of working with you. So give it a try, have a go at changing the cover from a standard cover photo to a video and see what impact that has on your customers and your views to your Facebook page. If you want to hide your friends list on Facebook from a particular friend or from everybody, this is how it's done. Here we go. So here I am on Facebook. I go here and I click on friends, and you can see all the friends by default. If I click manage here, edit privacy, now I can see who can see your friends list. So I could set that to public. I could set it for friends, or I could even set it to just only me, so nobody at all can see who else they may have in common, etc. That's a bit drastic for me, so maybe I'll just say the friends except, and I can specify someone who can't see them. So if I just put in Peter, he's the only person who can't see that list. Let's have a look at this in the 2020 version of Facebook. So to switch to new Facebook. And again, here on friends, I've got the option to edit the privacy there, and the same things there. So I've got a customized version now because I put in an exception. And also there are other things you'd look at, like who can see the pages you follow, and you can make that private as well, so you're not telling everyone what else you're interested in. In this video on the new interface of 2020 Facebook, I'll show you how you can have a group feed where you can see all the activities just in your groups and no other information like friends or pages, etc. Here we go. So here I am in the 2020 version of Facebook, and you can see if I click on see more, you'll see the section groups, and there it is. It's called your feed. So if you say your feed, you can see recent activity here, any groups that are suggested, but here is the actual feeds from various different groups. Teachable tricks there, local village forum. You can see it all in one place. If you like, commercial free, so it's a news feed just for your group activity. If that's what you want to concentrate on in Facebook, that's great. You can look at each of the groups you're a member of. If I switch it back to classic Facebook, which you may still have activated, notice the Discover's still there, but there's no news feed visible. So it's a brand new feature only available with the new Facebook, and so it might be a reason to switch or move to the new interface. If you own a group, manage a group, or even just take part in various community groups on Facebook, the Discover tool is really useful to find the groups that are right for you. I'll show you how it works in this video. Here we go. So you need to look at your home page here and then go on the left hand side to Explore and the section called Groups, and you can see it here. So the first thing you can see is groups you might be interested in. So it's picked out a number of groups based on who you're already a member of, kind of groups you might want to see. So if I say see all, there's a whole collection there, and essentially each one has a single option, join. But again, bear in mind that if you want to join a group as you personally find, click join, but some of them you may want to join as your page. So actually click on content and see if they accept pages becoming a member of a group. And you can see that when you say join group. So in that case, that was asking a series of questions, but some of them will allow, for example, this one here, the Rotary Foundation. If you say join group, you can choose which page to join as. So that's one option. So there are suggestions there in that first section. Next is the groups you manage, so you can see all of them collected together. And following that, the groups you're actually a member of. And again, scroll down here on the left hand side. And of course, if you want to create your own group, you can click there, create a group. You'll need a name. You need to choose the privacy, and that's important because once you make it private, it's difficult to make public afterwards. You can pin it straight away to your shortcuts. Really straightforward. So groups being much more widely used now. Let's just look at the options under the 2020 version. So I'll switch to the new version of Facebook, and you'll see it in terms of the categories. So suggested for you, and then below that eventually. So much easier to pick out individual categories. So you can see all the categories. So you can choose by the different ones. So it's probably better now to manage from within this 2020 version if you have it available. So another good reason to upgrade. Also you can see the groups from this tab here. You can access that same area, either your feed, which is a feed of all the updates you can see in your group, so you can see them here, or you can say discover and go and pick the ones that you manage. Notice you can pin certain groups that you manage to the top as well. So probably more options available with the newer version. In this video I'll walk you through how you can create a poll for your Facebook page. Here we go. So here I am on my page, and you'll notice that if I want to actually just create a post using the options below, there isn't actually a poll button there available. However, what you need to do is close that, go to Publishing Tools, create Post, and then here on the options available you see more options: get shop visits, advertise your business, and most importantly in this context, poll. Select poll, ask the question, add 2 options, and set the duration the poll will be available for. Now do note that there's only 2 options available, and usually you can either use a GIF or use a photo to go with the poll. In terms of duration, you could do it 1 day, 1 week, or in fact never, so it'll always be on the page. You might want to pin it to the top, for example, and I'll click share now, and if we go back to the page itself, you should see that poll posted there with 2 voting options that people can choose from. So that's something to bear in mind, the publishing tool. Also, just to show you the 2020 version of Facebook, the new interface, what that looks like. You can see the option there for publishing tools, and it comes up and says this page hasn't been designed for the new Facebook yet. But if I go create post, amongst the options is poll, so you can create a poll there as well. So how long that feature will be available within publishing tools, I don't know. It's interesting it's been removed from the page directly, but for now in 2020 you can create a poll on your Facebook page. In 2020 I'll take you through how you can switch between that and the classic Facebook and some of the features you may expect with the new version. Here we go. So here you can see the classic Facebook interface. Should be familiar over a number of years, but if I now want to switch to try the new one, we go to the drop down menu here, and I'll select switch to new Facebook. Probably the first thing to note is the way the icons are lined up here based on usability, accessibility. We've got pages, watch, marketplace, groups, major Facebook features. If I click on the drop down arrow here, you'll see an option to go to dark mode. That's one of the features of the new interface. You can have a less sheen on the screen, less glare if you go for dark mode. So some users may prefer that. Other features you might note about this, if you look at groups, for example, basically everything's laid out better, but there are certain things that are only available with the new interface, like for example a group feed. Here you can see various posts just from the groups that you're a member of, no other news feed information like friends information, etc. That'll give you a really filtered view of things. Whereas to go back to the old version of Facebook, you just do switch to classic Facebook. And you'll see there that although there is a discover section, there is no feed visible. So there are definitely some things that are coming with the new version, so it might tempt you to switch over. Certainly in terms of managing the likes of Facebook groups, there seems to be much more a simplified layout. I suppose you've got the menu options. If I go to pages as well, you can see all the pages you managed listed out quite clearly, and if I click on it, all the typical menus you'd expect in terms of page settings and that kind of thing are actually laid out here on the left hand side. So you can go down here, go to settings, and you'll see everything: general messaging, page info, tablets. It's just a lot clearer, bolder fonts, easier to navigate, I think, and it's well worth a try if because you can always switch back. As I say, you just click on the drop down at any time and say switch to classic Facebook. Okay, so that's a quick insight into the new interface. Pretty soon, within 2021, I would imagine the new interface will be everywhere. So something to get used to, but I find it pretty good. In this video, we'll take a look at Facebook Watch, the place where you can manage all the different video content you see on Facebook, and I'll show you how you can select what channels you want to follow going forwards. Here we go. So you can see here on your home page the Watch button, little blue play button, and instantly, as soon as you click on it, you go to the home feed. You see some top recommended videos for you, and you have the option to follow these sites. You can click on the video, save it to your collections there. You can copy the link, and you can choose to follow them as well. So basically, everything that you choose to follow goes onto your what's called your watch list. So this example of a local site, so you can either follow or unfollow from there. Click the notifications bell to be notified about it, and you can click here to write a post that includes it. Looking at some of the other content, you get the chance for each channel to present a brief summary of what it's about, and these will often be videos that you may have stopped on your phone scrolling through it and then watch something, and then it'll be automatically added. So if you want to review what's on your watch list, you can see set to receive updates or not, and then if you want to remove completely, you remove, and then simply if you want to add something else, you say add to watch list. So it accumulates over time. If I just show you now with all these watch lists, you can create playlists of content as well. You can set up your own watch page for items like this. If you look in the current 2020 version, new Facebook, you'll see again pretty much the same options, just more clearly presented. Home, shows. We can pick out particular original content on Facebook as well. Any live content going on at the moment, and anything you save to come back to later. Okay, so that's Facebook Watch. Notice you can access it from this third icon across the top on the new version as well. Now, if on Facebook you want to copy the actual original post and share it to another network, I'll show you how you can do that by clicking on the timestamp and sharing the link. Here we go. Okay, so here, looking through my newsfeed, I found an article, a post that I really want to share. Now, I could do the traditional share, but that's only within Facebook. So what I can do is actually go to the timestamp. So Wednesday, June 24th, and if I right click there, I'll see the option to copy the link address. If I now go directly to Twitter and post that link, I'll just have a look now. So I'll say tweet. And you'll see that that link takes me to the exact post that I wanted to share. So really straightforward. The same principles will apply if you're using the new 2020 version of Facebook. Again, you just go to the timestamp. If you find content in your newsfeed that you really want to share and come back to later, you can save the item. You can also add that item to what's called a collection. I'll show you how you can do that in this video. Here we go. So you're scrolling through your newsfeed and you find something you want to save. So what you do is you click on the three dots and you can say save the link. Now if you look to the left, you can see under Explore you've got the section Saved. You go to that and that'll show you all the items that you've saved in recent times. So they can see the most recent one at the top from today's list, and you can then go to it. You can either add it to a collection, an existing one, or you can create a new one. So that'll create a social media one. Create new collection, social media. And these are also accessible from your mobile devices as well, so really handy. And now if I look at my collections and refresh that, you can see social media now has one item in it. And you can say who's contributed to that collection. You can add friends who may be connected with it. If you want to remove anything or delete the collection, you can delete that connection there. And you can even search through your various saved items to find articles. So there's one, for example, so I could add that now to the social media collection. So let's have a look at that now with the 2020 version of Facebook in mind. So switch to new Facebook. And if we go back to my home page, you can see it there. So basically we need to click see more there, go down to where it says saved, and we can see add to collection. This button means we create a post relating to it, and here we can say unsave if we want to. So I unsave that one. So a really convenient way to manage your content. Perhaps you're looking to collect certain things. For example, I'm a member of a group that entertains, informs and all that sort of thing, and it's great content for that sort of thing, to get reactions to, ask for feedback, that kind of thing. And of course you can have all sorts of different collection categories, and you can save as many items as you want. When you set up your personal profile on Facebook, you enter a lot of private data, some of which you might be happy to share, but others you want to keep private. And I'll show you how you can make sure the settings are right for you in this video. Here we go. So here I am on a relatively new profile. And if I click the About, a new option there, you'll see all these various things of information that I've inputted. So to start with, under Contact and Basic Info, I've got 2 email addresses registered, and at the moment they're visible to my friends. But also, they could be shown on the timeline. So select Hidden on Timeline, and no longer visible at all. Obviously, shown on timeline would be different, and friends isn't the most basic. You can also go to Only Me can see it. is to be ultra save, so say save changes, and now they're basically there as hidden from the timeline, not even visible when they come. The mobile phones there, you can edit that, and you can make changes to the number, and when you input a mobile number you have to verify it in the first place anyway. And then further down we've got date of birth information. This is quite sensitive obviously, and you can edit that. And again, as I've set there, I set it to only me so that nobody else can see it other than you. And you can have a look through all the other settings here as well. I'll also show you what it looks like in a 2020 version of Facebook. Switch to new Facebook. And you can see how it's presented there under contact and basic info. You can edit there. You have various things around the number. Now you can expand on that, verify it. I've selected remove there. I can say I understand the issues around removing my account. Re-enter your password. I'll just click away from there. Go back to about, and you can try viewing your profile as a visitor. Now the send message button that appears on Facebook pages is a useful way for people who've liked the page to get in touch directly with the administrator or the team behind the business or page. But in some instances it may be you don't want to show that send message option. Maybe it's an old business page or it's not active anymore and you don't want them to be able to get in touch directly, and therefore I'll show you how in this video you can remove the send message button. Here we go. Okay, so here I am on the page, but notice that this is my admin view of it, so I can edit the call to action button there. So it's not what the public currently see. What they currently see is you click on the three dots, they can see view as page visitor. So at this moment of time, there's a call to action button, the contact us button, which goes to wherever you want, the website, etc. And also the send message button is there. So if I switch back to manage the page, so switch back to the admin view. So now we're in the admin view. What we need to do is go to settings and then select people contact my page privately, the messages tab. We'll select there. And what we'll do is deselect the check button that says allow people to contact it privately by showing the button. So I deselect that, save the changes, and now we can go back to the view of the page. And once again we can select the option to view the page as a visitor. So we click here, view as page visitor, and now you can clearly see only thing left is that call to action button, and the send message to the page is completely gone. To be on the safe side, you can remove the call to action button as well if you wish, and the way to do that is simply click on the pencil icon and actually go to the option delete the button. And now if you view it as a page visitor again, you'll see there's absolutely no button there whatsoever. So there's no way they can get in touch with this page. And you can see as the administrator of the page, you've got the add a button option and nothing else. So if I switch to the new Facebook interface, the thing that differs is there's a little button that says view as a visitor instead of a drop down. So you just say view as a visitor. And again, you'll see there is no send message option there, so the same applies. When you set up your Facebook business page, you specify the category of business, but circumstances may have changed and you might want to change and edit the category of your page. I'll take you through how you do that in this video. Here we go. So here I am on my business homepage, and if I go down here to where it says about, I can find the category. And you can see there I've got social media agency in there, but that's no longer necessarily the full description. So what I can do, and notice here you can add up to 3 categories to tell Facebook about the page. And if I just click on the social media agency, I'll remove that. Now if you want to search for a new, more appropriate category, you need to just type the first few letters of the keyword you're looking for. So I'll search here for, let's say, business service, let's say public figure as well, to put that back in. And it's as simple as that. If I click save now, and I'll say not now for that. And you can see now the category has been successfully changed to business service. Now, remember the first word out of the 3 keywords you put in there is the one that's going to display. So make sure you choose the right one. Also, I'll show you how it looks with the brand new Facebook interface in 2020. And you can see it displayed there. If I go to the more menu, I can see about category there. Although actually I need to select edit page info on the left hand side. You can see the general, the 2 names, but categories are listed there. So you can update them to your heart's content. So that's how you change the category of your page. Make sure you do that so that you get the optimal results in search engines when people are looking for your business. If you're a local business, make sure you say local in terms of the entries. And hopefully that's given you a clear steer on the best policies for it. If you have a Facebook page, the tabs or menu options on the left hand side that you can see providing information like about, videos, resources that are connected with the page is a great way to showcase what you do. So I'm going to show you how you can make any changes and edit the contents of those tabs. Here we go. Okay, so first I'll show you the classic view of Facebook up until the 2020 version that's now been released, how it's done, and that's done by going to settings. And here under templates and tabs. So you can choose a particular category for your page. The current template is services, but I can edit that and select one of the other available templates. And they all have slightly different tabs available within them. So business tab, shopping tab, venues. Let me just select the business tab. That's been recommended. So I can see the buttons on the page. This is not so much about the content of the tabs themselves, so I can say apply template of this tab, and your services live tab will be hidden. The order of the tabs will change as well, so let's see how that changes it. Okay, so let's go back now to the page. Before we do that, we'll check. These are the tabs that are currently in default. So we've got posts, jobs, events, reviews, videos. Now what you can do is you can change the order in which they appear. So for example, you can move about up towards the top. Jobs, not so important to me. Reviews up to 3rd. And let's now go back to the page and have a look at those. So you can see posts, about, reviews are the top 3. So let's have a look now at the brand new interface. Switch to new Facebook. And here we are again on the page. want to go to templates and tabs. You can see the current template is business, and you can see what tabs are available currently. And these are the ones that you can turn on or off. So certain things you want to have featured, reviews for example, you can turn that off simply by sliding the switch or clicking on it to slide the switch. You could have the groups tab visible. I certainly want that visible for my page, and any other ones. So you can add custom tabs as well. I can cover that in a different video, but you've got the essence of it. It's quite flexible. There's lots of different things you can add. Don't have too many on show. Just have the key ones that you really want people to use. Photos, videos would be common. And that's how it works in 2020. In this video, I'll walk you through how you can add the review capability so that users can leave their feedback on your page, your business, etc. Here we go. So here I am on the Facebook page of Consortium Networking, a fairly new page that's set up. And if I click on reviews, you can see there's already one review there, and that's the most recent review, and that's myself having written that. Now, any review you get, I recommend you respond, you comment, you thank on behalf of the group. That's the best way to go with reviews, because each one of these is going to help you get more visible. Now, if that reviews option isn't available on your page for whatever reason, what you need to check is go to settings, and then you need to go to templates and tabs. Now it depends what layout you have for your page currently. Mine is the services tab, but if you had the default tab or whatever, it may not be there. So if it wasn't there, you just say add a tab. Because you can't pick it out because it is there, but at the moment you can enable here reviews on or reviews off. So if I turn that off and save that, and we go back to the page, here on the left hand side you can see there's no option to have reviews now. So it can be turned on and off. There's a difference now in the way people review. It's a written comment. It's not a star system 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they say, do you recommend it? Yes. Then that's likely to be classed as a 5 out of 5. And if it's do you recommend no, then that might be counted as a lower rating. So caution around that. If I go back to a different view, which is the brand new 2020 version, again, if I go back now to where I was in the menus before, which was the page settings, if I go down here to settings, templates and tabs, and this time I go to where it says reviews and just enable it back on. Go back to the home page, and you can see now that reviews are there. Now let's try another page. I'll go to my own business page, PR Wilson Media, and you'll note that here you can't currently review the page. It's not there as an optional tab. So what I need to do is go to the page settings again, go to templates and tabs, and go down to where it says reviews, and I need to make it more prominent on the page so it's in the top 3. So I can do that by sliding it upwards. And let's see, a bit higher. And now if we go back to the page itself, you'll see hopefully that menu option appear. Not quite, but it's so it needs to slide along a little bit more, I suppose. But yeah, reviews are there. You'll see there's several here that have been left over time, and they can be left on, it can be removed. That's quite flexible. So there's a whole ratings and review system written here, a wizard that steps you through what's changed about it, Supposedly it's easier to recommend your page. I think it's added a layer of complexity. If I switch back to the normal classic view, we'll see it again within that view. So pretty similar really, it's just a slightly different outline. In this video I'm going to walk you through how you connect your Facebook business page to your Instagram account. Here we go. Okay, so here I am on my business Facebook page. I just need to go to the settings menu in the top right. Yeah, obviously you have to be an administrator of the page. And on the left hand side I see the menu option Instagram, so I'll click on there. And you'll see the button come through to connect to Instagram. So when you connect, other people who manage the page may be able to post and take other actions to the connected accounts. There's more you can learn there. You can have a look through this if you like. But I'm going to go back now and basically just log into my Instagram account. So I say connect account. I'll click login. And as you can see, that returns the Instagram account details. So that looks right. The website, details of the contact address, etc. So you're happy with that. So what else can I do? Now I can look at responding to messages in the inbox. So as a page admin, you can read and respond to any Instagram comments, direct messages, either via the computer or on the Pages Manager app. You can also create ads. So if you boost a post now within Facebook, you can actually say to also reach the audience of that Instagram account that you set up. Facebook group tasked with approving members' joining requests. You can automate the process using automatic member approvals, which can speed up in some cases. I'll show you how it works in this video. Here we go. So to go to those settings, I need to go to more and select moderate group. And here you can see automatic member approvals. So a faster way to instantly add them. And here's some criteria. So you can say, have they completed all the questions? I'll say that's fine. Maybe they're somebody local to you, so you can automatically approve them if they live in a certain jurisdiction. If they're friends with at least one member in the group already, that's usually okay. And how long have they been on Facebook for? So I'll save those and I'll confirm that. And that's essentially it. I'll just show you the new Facebook interface. You can see there's a step has been taken, and that one of the admins has added that, and you can edit the requirements, and you can see in the form there. If you run a Facebook group, you might want to look at the group quality, which shows you whether there's been any violations of Facebook rules, any issues around fake news and that kind of thing reported in your group. I'll show you how it works here. Here we go. So here you can see the group quality section on the left hand side. Click on that. So you can in more detail at the community standards, making it easier to see when we've taken action against people within the group. Anything that's against community standards of Facebook generally, any misleading content, and the action that's taken against that content. It may reduce the group's distribution, how often it gets shown into the Facebook newsfeed. So I think in most cases it wouldn't be an issue, but obviously some groups can be taken over or have people posting content that's not deemed to be of high enough quality, depending on the topic of the group. It's a simplified thing in terms of the 2020 version. Group quality just says no updates for the group. So something to look out for. You can also have member reported content where you can review that and check it out yourself. So there's plenty of safeguards there built into Facebook. If you run a Facebook group, group insights are a great way to get an idea of how the membership is doing, who the top contributors are, lots of other things. I'll show you how it works in this video. Here we go. So here in the group, I can see on the left hand side, obviously you've got to be an admin or a moderator. I can see group insights, and you can see 3 basic areas. Who are the admins and moderators, who are the members, and how many posts. In the units section, so that's something that you have training units, how many of them have been completed. So if I click on more member details, I'll get an idea of who the top contributors over the last 28 days are. We're going to break down a membership in the group, so I can see pretty even split, 50-50, top countries and locations. So interesting insight. In terms of the units, there's more details about who's completed the units. And here under admin and moderators, you can also see a summary. So 1.1 thousand members, how many comments and reactions in the last 28 days. And here you can click on growth, and you can get an idea of how the group has grown, how requests have been coming in, and also engagement details as well. So which posts, what days are popular, and popular times to post. If you own or manage a Facebook group, have you seen the new formatting options for posts? You can do bold text, italics, headlines, bullet points. I'll show you how in this video. Here we go. So here I am in my free social media training group, and I click here, and notice straight away it's popped up a formatting icon, which gives the option H1, heading 1, larger text, H2, smaller text. So let's just try heading 1 and select that. So that's going to be bigger. Secondly, heading 2. Yeah, so slightly smaller. And then we got bullet points there. 1, 2, 3. And we can change that to a numbered list. So pretty much standard things you'd see in a Microsoft Word document, or that kind of thing. List 1, list 2, and finally we've got the ability to send a quotation mark. So this is great. So imagine the possibilities, being able to then select that as well. And if you select an individual word, you can select bold, or you can select italic to change the way it's shown. All sorts of possibilities. And you know, I believe it's rolling out now to Facebook personal profiles as well, so it should soon be available. If I just show you in the new version of Facebook as well, we switch to new Facebook. No, interestingly, when I try to type it in, it doesn't have the formatting options there, so I'm going to have to suggest it's not quite been rolled out to the newer version. So you might want to switch to classic Facebook. So just go to that drop down and select switch to classic Facebook. And what you're looking out for, as I say, is the hello. And there it has appeared now. So yeah, just as with a Facebook page, the cover photo you choose for your group is important, and I'll show you how you can change that photo in this video. Here we go. When it comes to choosing the right size in terms of pixels across and down, Basically, I recommend searching for social media size guides like these ones here. And here this one says cover photo size should be 820 by 462. So if you want to get that picture to fit the spot exactly, what you can use is something like Canva, where you can put in those dimensions. Here's the Canva site. We can choose, you can sign up, register a free account, canva.com. And in terms of cover size, you can go for Facebook cover. And it's essentially the same for both a group and a page. And you have these pre-designated, so if you just drag a photo into it, it should fit exactly. So the basic procedure, you just hover over the group cover photo, you click change group photo, and then you need to choose from group photos. If you haven't got one already, you can upload one, but if you have, you can select one, you can drag it to reposition, and when you're happy with that, you click save. If you want to see that with a new Facebook interface, basically go hit the edit button. Again, I can choose from individual pictures, or I can upload a new picture. So I'll say choose from group photos, and I'll choose the initial one. You can reposition it on the screen. And as I say, if I wanted to fit it exactly, I would be able to go to the Canva tool, upload the picture into there, and resize it. And once you're happy, click Save Changes. So that's the way you update your group cover photo. Remember that you can have not just images, but you can have text written on it. You can add text boxes to it. Make the most of that space. Make it something that if you click on it, there's a message about the page, offering you resources or something like that. So use every opportunity to not only have the icon in the corner, which is the how the page is recognized in the feeds and when someone comments from the page, but also have a really empowering, useful image to showcase what the page is all about.